Today on Emerging Business Report, Bith Group Technology CEO Robert Wallace shares his wisdom about building relationships of trust with clients, partners, and employees.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for another edition of the Emerging Business Report, brought to you by the Center for Minority Business Development at Prince George's Community College. I'm your host, Sharon Morton. With us today is Robert Wallace, CEO of Bith Group Technologies. Bith Group is an award-winning information technology consulting firm that provides a wide spectrum of services to help businesses of every type and size maximize their potential. The Bith Group offers services in energy management, healthcare information, renewable energy, mobile applications, and so much more. Robert Wallace is also the author of 5 books on business development and entrepreneurship. Thank you for being here today, Mr. Wallace.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Can I call you Robert?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Let's find out in layman's terms, what exactly does Bith Group Technologies do? And where did you get the name Bith Group?
Well, Bith Group is the initials of my maternal and paternal grandparents. So I took the first letter of their names and came up with Bith Group.
Okay.
And it is my way of honoring my ancestors and my parents. But what we do, we're a bunch of boring engineers and scientists, and we use technology as a tool to solve business problems. So the technology could be information technology, it could be engineering, energy technology, it could be mobile commerce technology. But the idea is to use technology as an enabler to help businesses and government to solve problems and to become more efficient.
Okay. What motivated you to start your own business, particularly in information technology?
Well, my primary motivation for starting the company, this is almost 20 years ago, was really out of anger. Right?
You were angry?
I was in business school. I was getting my MBA up at Dartmouth, and I was angry because I didn't see women and minorities playing a role in the economy in a meaningful way. And so I felt that once I got out of business school, that my mission was to become an entrepreneur. And Reggie Lewis of Beatrice Foods was one of my mentors. And I saw
mentor
he was. Great man. And I saw what he did. And that became my model for what I wanted to achieve in business, to build wealth through business, through technology, in my case, because I'm an engineer and scientist, and taking my strength in that area and creating wealth. Because when you create wealth, then you're able to do a lot more things beyond yourself. You can help humanity, the community, and so forth.
Yes, you create power, actually.
You create power. You read my book, haven't you?
We're going to talk about your books later. I wanted to go back to the beginning a little bit. You said that once you got out of Dartmouth with your MBA, you knew that you wanted to be an entrepreneur.
That's correct.
Did you ever work for someone else first to get that experience? Were you ever, in the business world and, got your feet wet and then jumped into the wonderful field of entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. After business school, I took a job with IBM. Right? But I knew before joining IBM that I was going to be starting a business in information technology. So while in business school, I thought, what better training ground than IBM, all right, to launch a business in technology. So thus I took a job in IBM as a systems engineer, putting in large mainframes, networking systems, computer-aided design type systems. But the intent was to build a foundation for launching my business at some point in the future. For me, it was 5 years. I was 5 years at IBM working in that space before I felt ready and compelled to launch my company in information technology. I train and teach people that who are new entrepreneurs is you start your business and what is your core strength? What is your core area?
And what is your passion as well? That has to be
amen.
part of it.
Absolutely. What is your passion? Because you will have days when you say, what am I doing? Why am I here? I mean, I had many days when I said, gee, that IBM job wasn't so bad. Okay?
Right.
So,
But you had to love what you were doing to keep going.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. Yeah. Passion. We hire people all across the globe, from India, China, Africa. And the one thing I look for in them is passion, as you said. Passion for technology, passion for innovation, passion for solutions. Right?
Passion for customer service. That's really important.
Absolutely.
Your customer keeps you going.
You bet it is. And that's the key thing to keep in front of you. But the idea is to make their lives easier by using technology to solve their problems.
Okay, that's great. Was it difficult in the beginning to find and secure capital, funding to start your own business? Everybody thinks, oh, I'm going to be my own boss.
Right.
I can't wait to start my own business. It's harder. Or should I say it's easier said than done.
It is.
What did you do to go out and find the money to start it?
Well, I teach people and I tell people, put your money where your mouth is. As I've studied successful business folks over the last 30 years from my books and my research, you'll find that most people who start businesses use their own capital initially.
And you advise against that?
No, I don't. I say that's how you be comfortable doing that. And of course, if someone will loan you money to start a business, by all means, leverage it that way. But for the most part, most people have to start with their own capital first. You look at Bill Gates and all these folks who are legendary now, you'll find that almost in every case, they use their own money initially to launch the business. That might mean, for example, a second mortgage on your home.
Okay.
It may mean selling your BMW to get some cash.
Right.
Okay? But it's your money first.
Let's talk some more about that when we come back from the break. Is that
Please.
okay?
Absolutely.
Please stay tuned here with the Emerging Business Report and Robert Wallace, CEO of Bith Group Technologies. We'll be right back after these messages.
There's money out here. There's money. Some folks think because of the recession there's no capital. There's capital right now to invest in good ideas and good businesses.
With the foundation that's already been laid in its first year of operation, I think that, quite frankly, the sky is the limit for the Center for Minority Business Development. They are fast becoming an entity in this county that small and large businesses are looking to for the services that they offer.
Please try and keep in touch with us. You can visit us on our website at www.cmbd.biz. Again, www.cmbd.biz. Give us a call at 301-583-5205. Again, 583-5205. Or visit us on the campus of Prince George's Community College.
Welcome back to the Emerging Business Report. We're having an enlightening discussion with Robert Wallace, CEO of Bith Group Technologies, winner of Maryland's 2008 and 2009 Top 100 Minority Business Enterprise Awards. Robert, you have given so much good information. I'm so glad we have a few more minutes to talk to you.
So am I.
Before we went to break, we were talking about where do you find the money? Show me the money.
Sure.
To start my own business. And if I am Joe Blow who just got laid off, I am wanting to start my own business, I don't have perfect credit, I don't have very much money, what is it that I can do to get going with my own business?
Well, the first assumption is that the idea that you have is a viable and commercial idea. And that's the first thing. The second thing is you go to friends, family, and investors, all right? Okay. But the idea has to be a sound idea, all right, and well thought out and well researched. But there's money out here. There's money. Some folks think because of the recession there's no capital. There's capital right now to invest in good ideas and good businesses.
You have to have a great business plan too. You can't just go to an investor and say, hey, here's my idea. They want to see something in writing. Absolutely.
One of the big mistakes that potential folks make in business is they come to investors unprepared. So you get one shot. You get one shot, and you must come prepared and come strong, because most investors like me, we invest in numerous companies across the globe, right? The one principle I have is I bet on the jockey, and not the horse.
You bet on the jockey.
I bet on the jockey.
Okay.
So if you come to me with a deal, right, it may be great business plan, nice colors, and the colors now well laid out, but I'll look at you in the eye, and in my gut, I'm going to say, can she do what she says she can do on that paper?
That sounds like it's a feeling.
Well, it is. It's instinct. I mean, most investors go on instinct. I mean, they do their analysis and their vetting and all that. That's true. But at the end of the day, it's your gut. What does your gut tell you? When I make investments, I do all my analysis, due diligence, the whole thing, and then I sit back for a quiet moment and I pray about it because I'm a Christian. I pray about it and I say, okay, where do I go? How do I go? Can she do or he do what he says he can do on that paper? If I say yes, I invest. If I say no, no thank you, good luck to you.
Okay. Who are some of your partners and clients, and why do they decide to go with Bith Group? Why do they think that you can do for them what it is that they need?
One word, trust. Trust. We have partners who are multi-billion-dollar companies. We have partners who are middle market type companies. We have partners who are small businesses. The primary reason why people partner with us is trust, because they know that if Bob Wallace says he's going to do something, Bob does it. I'm a man of my word. If I can't do it, I'll tell you I can't do it, and that way there's no misunderstanding. So I would say trust. And then secondly, it is competence. Being able to do what you say you can do, and doing that over and over and over again, all right? Being sustainable, all right? So trust and competence are two main reasons why.
As a minority, do you think that you've had to prove yourself more than others?
No question about that. I mean, people can say what they want. Racism, sexism, classism is still real in our society. When I walk into an environment for the first time and they don't know Bob Wallace, all they see initially is an African-American man with a bald head, right? So whatever misconception they may have about that, I've got to deal with initially. But what I have been successful at being able to do is to overcome that initial issue and get down to competence. So when we come to the table, we come strong.
And people need to know not to use that as a crutch.
Absolutely.
You have to know that, that's real. Like you said, racism, classism is real, but you have to keep going.
Well, you do, and you can't wear it on your chest. See, one thing I've learned is that accomplishment and competence will trump everything else over time. So if you give me time, right, my competence and my team, it will trump racism, sexism, classism, and you will want us as your partner.
Speaking of team, how important is it to have really good employees who care about your company just as much as you do?
It is essential. One thing that we look at in interviewing folks for our team is their fit to our culture, competence in doing the job, and passion for what we do.
You said they're fit to your culture.
To our
what
culture.
Do you mean?
Well, our culture and our corporate culture, which starts with me as CEO, okay, we believe that to whom much is given, much is required. So as we build success in our business, every year we take a portion of our profits and we give it away. And we do mission work. We're building orphanages, churches, schools all over the world.
So you believe in charity. That's part of your success model.
Absolutely. Wealth by itself means nothing. It's how wealth is used that has the impact, which is critical. So the culture of our company is do well and do good. And so if you can't get into that culture, it's probably not going to be a good fit. So I'd rather get someone who buys into the culture, who may be average in competence, but who has great passion. I'll take that man or woman any day over a PhD from MIT.
Okay, is it hard to find that man or woman?
It is, but I think part of the reason is people don't have a clear understanding of what to expect. The average age of our employee is 26 years of age.
Okay.
So I'm getting them young. That's how I like to get them young, right? But we have to teach them, though, the culture of our company, and they have to embrace it and be part of it, right?
But they can't learn that until they get into your company.
They
can't. Because every corporation has a different culture.
That is true. But if the schools teach them on how to think and how to innovate, right? Innovate means what? To make new.
Yes.
So how to think and how to innovate. If I can get those two out of young people or any employee of any age, then I'm good.
Okay, we're going to talk some more about that when we come back from this break, okay?
Thank you.
Stay tuned with us here on the Emerging Business Report. More with Robert Wallace.
I grew my company organically, all right? So I made money, plowed it back into the business, retained earnings, and kept building that way. What I would do differently now is get investors quickly and sooner.
Well, the things that keep me up at night are who's doing what can I do next, who haven't I helped, who can I help a little bit more, and just those little things of like, world peace and, wanting to make a difference and making sure on my deathbed I can say that I totally rocked it.
What is the industry standard? What is the mark of success in a given field? I look at what do I have to do in order to achieve those and even move beyond?
And we're back on the Emerging Business Report. Thank you for staying with us. Bob, let's talk a little bit about your books.
Yes.
You have authored 5 of them.
That's
and
correct.
I think you have 3 on the way.
Yes,
let's
I
talk
do.
a little bit about those and how can our viewers, buy them or get them?
Sure. Well, first of all, my website is robertwallace.com. My name, robertwallace.com. The 3 new books, though, they speak about emerging opportunities on a global level. The first book is called The Color of a Billion. Women and minorities here who are building billion-dollar enterprises, right? That's the new era. That's the new way to go.
Yeah, there's no more, I want to be a millionaire.
That's
Now I want
correct.
to be a billionaire.
Billionaire, right.
Okay, but
And
that book isn't out yet.
It's not out yet. It'll be out next year.
Okay.
And the other book is called Crash, right? Crash talks about how small businesses in America can do business globally. See, if you travel globally, as I do, you'll find that American small businesses are not competing with the Chinese or the Indians or the folks from African countries. So there's some lessons we need to teach American small businesses on how to compete globally. Then the third book is one that we do now, which is called Green Gold.
Green Gold.
Right?
Okay.
And it talks about building wealth from the green industry or the green revolution.
Oh,
evolution.
the environment.
The environment,
Oh, okay, all
wind,
right.
solar, geothermal, all
Okay,
those things.
I see.
Talking about an amazing opportunity to create wealth for people in our community. That is it, Green Gold.
But are these books for laymen? If they read these books, will the average person get the message that you're trying to send to them or give to them that they can become wealthy?
I spend a great deal of effort in how I write to make sure that I can cover a broad array of the population who can understand and internalize and put into action the things that I recommend in the book. So yes.
Well, you talk about small businesses thinking globally.
Absolutely.
And I guess eventually working with other countries.
That's correct.
Other people around the world. But if you're, a 1 or 2 man shop and you have a home-based business,
that's correct.
How can you think globally? You're trying to make a profit. You're trying to get through the month or the next 6 months. You're trying to pay that 1 or 2 employees that you have.
Absolutely. 2 things I recommend to folks like that. Number 1, think big, start small.
Think big, start small.
Start small, all right? And secondly is create the future, then work backwards. We will migrate to that which we see in our mind's eye, right? And so you got to see it before you believe it. And when you believe it, it will change your actions to move you towards that goal. We started, for example, in the IT field, right? 5 years ago, we began investing in the energy field in a very big way. So now we're doing solar systems, wind systems, geothermal systems. We've got bids in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Liberia, West Africa, down in Brazil. You got to think big. As a man or woman thinketh, so are they. So you follow what you think. And so the idea is to think big and then work backwards.
Okay. I want you to tell us, if you knew then what you know now about being your own boss, what would you do differently?
A couple of things. Number 1 is I would use more money from other people.
Okay, not your own money.
Not my own money, okay. I grew my company organically, all right? So I made money, plowed it back into the business, retained earnings, and kept building that way. What I would do differently now is to get investors quickly and sooner, okay?
Use other people's money.
Use other people's money. Secondly, I would have reached out to build alliances and partnerships quicker. Right?
Okay.
So that would have been a very big part of what I do. And then thirdly, I would have been marketing at a higher level than I was before. Okay. I would market at the C-suite, right? The CEO, CIO, that suite, that area, versus the engineers and the scientists. I love those guys and gals, okay?
Right.
But the decision makers are at the C-suite, and so I would spend more time marketing at that level.
Okay. Bob, we have certainly enjoyed you here on the Emerging Business Report. We know that you'll continue with your success.
Thank you.
And we hope you'll visit us again and give us some more great tips on business and finance.
Absolutely.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks again for joining us. Please be sure to tune in for the next Emerging Business Report. I'm your host, Sharon Morton. Have a good day.